Okay, so evaluating expressions is another thing we're going to need to review before we get into this unit's finishing material, because you're going to need to know how to use evaluating expressions and graphing and order of operations in order to succeed. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Looking at your homework, let's go ahead and work on number 3. We have k times 3 plus j. Now, the whole idea behind evaluating expressions is that there is no equal sign. You're not going to do something to both sides of the equal sign because there is no equal sign, okay? So we're not solving for something. We're not going to say k is a number because that's not how this works. Whenever you have an expression, usually what you're going to be doing is simplifying the expression. You just want to make it easier to read, easier to look at, and easier to use. So let's take a look at this one. We've got two different letters where k is equal to 3 and j is equal to 1. So the idea behind evaluating the expression is that we have this thing right here with a couple of unknowns. We're going to see what happens to it when we start injecting different values into it. So when k is 3 and j is 1, what happens to it? Well, let's see. Okay, so k, I'm going to try and keep this color coordinated. So 3 times 3 plus j is 1. And now you know why we had to do order of operations first. Because what am I going to do? Am I going to times by 3, or am I going to take care of what's inside the parentheses first? It's kind of a trick question because technically you could do either in this case, which makes this a bad example, I suppose. Because you remember me telling you last time that if you can distribute, you should distribute. But order of operations says we should take care of the parentheses first. When in doubt, just take care of the parentheses and then distribute if you still need to. Okay, so here we go. Order of operations says I'm going to multiply later. 3 plus 1 is 4. And then 3 times 4 is 12. So 12 is going to be my final answer. Keep in mind that you are showing your work. These are my 2 steps that I'm going to show. This is my answer. This, if I'm doing it on a separate sheet of paper, I am going to write out the problem. That's all important, okay? So evaluating expressions is just, we have a couple of unknowns. What happens when I plug these specific numbers into it? You're going to need to know how to do that because we're going to start evaluating expressions several times for each problem because we're going to use that in our graphing efforts, okay? That's it. Let me know if you have questions. There's a million different videos on YouTube and Khan Academy and different resources available online. Check your book if you'd like, but let me know if none of those work out and we can get together for tutoring.